I'm sure y'all guys want to see me successfully change a tire and be efficient at it with that Amazon motorcycle tire changer, right? Well, here's the video. I told you I was getting better. Hey guys, this is Octane Restorations, and we are back with the 1988 GL1500 Part 19. Now, I'm sure you're getting tired of seeing this stupid thing, and I'm ready for this stupid thing to be fixed already, but here we are. I'm trying to mix in some lawnmower videos and stuff like that in the meantime. But for today's episode, we're going to be installing a rear tire and balancing it. So, let's go ahead, and we're going to be using the Amazon tire machine again. Now, I know the first one didn't go very well, but like I mentioned before, my shop is pretty far away from anybody that'll touch motorcycle tires, so this is what we're stuck with. Now, this episode, I'm using other stuff, so I'm using like clamps and special tire lube just to make the job easier. I wish I would have been able to do this the first video, but I was trying to do it with just the supplies provided to me by the company whenever I bought this. So this video is going to go way quicker. I mean, I know I've spent a minute trying to break the beat on it, but I promise you the actual changing process of this tire goes way quicker as compared to that first tire. And I've done one more tire since then, motorcycle tire, and now I can actually go really quick. So you got to get the bead broken on both sides. I'm using some glass cleaner, some Windex as my lubricant right here. Once that bead is broken, you put that bar through the middle, and that's what you lever against. It's your fulcrum. There was a few spots that I feel like the bead wasn't broken as much as I wanted it to, so I'm just hitting them with this. And again, on the instructions for this tire changer, it does say that it should be bolted into the concrete or onto a pallet. I didn't have a pallet of wood, so I just had some big old 4x4s that I ended up using that I could stand on. So here, I'm just using a spray lubricant, kind of like WD-40, just to get the tire off. I don't plan on saving this tire, and I'm going to clean it anyways. So there's no need for me to really use anything else. I just need a lubricant to get it off. Here I'm using some small tire spoons and some cardboard. If you have painted rims or really nice rims, I wouldn't recommend doing this yourself, but if you are, you can put pieces of cardboard in between the spoon and the rim itself, and that'll just help prevent from scratches and damage. Am I saying that you're going to negate all damage when changing a tire by yourself by using cardboard? Realistically, probably not. So there, as you can see, I got a metal spoon on the inside, kind of holding that gap. Right here, I forgot the cardboard. But now I am just working it all the way. As you can see, I put the cardboard back. And again, I'm not using the stuff provided with me from the Amazon purchase. But here in a second, they have a little bar that actually works great. My only problem is it will scratch the rim. Right, this thing right here. So if you do have, again, painted rims or some really nice motorcycle rims, probably just take it to the shop. But this thing actually does work really well at removing the tire. So whenever you're getting ready to put a new tire on, set it out in the sun. That way it warms up, makes the rubber a little more pliable, goes on the rim a little bit easier. I think I set it out in the sun for 45 minutes total, and I turned it 2 or 3 different times so that both sides got heat. A thing to do in the meantime is you can change the valve stem out. So I got this cool little valve stem puller tool. It threads onto the actual valve stem, and then you just use it like a lever to pull it out. Now this valve stem, as you can see here, was pretty old. And the brass completely separated from the rubber, so I used pliers and a knife to get the rest of that rubber out. When putting a new valve stem in, I just put a little bit of spit on the rubber as the lubricant, thread it on that valve stem puller, and again, you just use it like a lever and it'll pop it right through. This is by far the easiest method I've found to installing valve stems. So this valve stem is not a 90 degree, it's a 45 degree. I should have bought a 90 degree angle one, but that little bracket, it does not work on this 45 degree. So here I am cleaning it with soap and water. Soapy water is not a big deal because some people actually use soapy water as the lubricant of choice whenever they mount a tire. But I'm just using it to get off some of the grime that's on there. I'm also going to clean inside the wheel, just get what I can off. And again, this is just doing stuff in the meantime while your tire is heating up. You can use a heat gun or a blow dryer, but setting out in the sun will just heat up the tire more evenly. Once you're ready to get your tire on, I'm using some Murphy's tire and tube lube. Tire and tube lube. It's fun to say. And I'm just lathering it on the outer edge of the rim and where the bead sets. I'm not using a whole lot. I know some people apply a very generous amount. And I probably should have, it would have went on easier. But this was my first time using this tire lube paste. But the reason I'm putting it on the inside as well is so it's easier to set the bead on this tire. But as you see, I'm just applying it all around, and then I'm also going to apply it on the edge of the tire as well. So this first edge you should just be able to push down like I did there. Ensure whenever you install your motorcycle tire, you're installing it correctly. Motorcycle tires are directional, so look on the side of the tire and it should tell you which way the tire should rotate when you're going forward. Again, I told you I'm going to use a few extra tools to make this process easier. In here, I have rim clamps that actually hold the motorcycle tire down for me, so it frees up some hands. This is still that tool that I got with the tire machine, and I actually do really like this tool. As you can see, I had to switch out clamps right there. The one thing about these clamps though is going around them with your tool. As you can see right there, just trying to get around them enough. But once you're around them, you can get them nice and tight, and you just muscle it through. Again, some more lubrication probably would have helped, but the tire clamps and the tire lube, instead of using like Windex or Dawn dish soap, it made a huge difference. Start to finish, you know, from actually having the rim and the tire separate and then installing it, probably took me about 10-15 minutes, as compared to the first time where you saw me mess with it for about 2.5 hours. So, properly heat up your tire. Here, I am adding air to the tire. And again, there was that little bit of lubrication on the bead, and so this tire did set properly. We did not have the same problem as we had on the front tire. Again, it's crazy what using good tools for the job will actually do. This process is pretty self-explanatory. We are just balancing this tire, ensure that it's on a flat surface, like I showed you earlier how the bubble was inside that black circle. And we did this with the front tire, so I'm not going to narrate this whole thing. But whenever the motorcycle tire stops, the very bottom, if you're looking like on a clock, it would be 6 o'clock. That's the heaviest spot, and so you'd put the wheel weights on the 12 o'clock, the very top position. And that's how you balance it with one of these. So you see as it's swinging, that spot where it settles, that is where it's heaviest, and so you put a wheel weight opposite of it. Right here I'm using some stick-on ones from Harbor Freight, and I cleaned this surface with carburetor cleaner. And then you just keep rinsing and repeating. So right here I'm happy. It's not rocking a lot, anything like that, so I am happy with this wheel. Again, this is the 1988 GL1500 Series Part 19. This was installing a new tire on the rear wheel and balancing it. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing, it really does help. Thanks for watching, it really does mean a lot. This is Octane Restorations. You have a good rest of your day.